Standard banner characters are booty chicks. They are characters you're supposed to feel bad about because you lost to them. And the second you get a limited option, you're gonna replace them. In Zenless Zone Zero, it was the same story, but they went from absolute fucking trash to being able to dunk on Void Hunters, bro. So let's go through them one by one, starting with Rina. Rina was a very niche support that was reliant on her M1 and signature to do anything useful, and she couldn't even maintain the uptime on her signature properly. Very clunky and annoying to use, and she simply just didn't buff enough. Her only niche was with electric anomaly characters like Grace and Yanagi. Other than that, I think you were just using her because you liked her, man. Meta and numbers aside, she was just so clunky. I actively never used her, bro. Like, her special attack took so long to trigger chain attacks. She was just ass. She was just a worse Nicole. But then Hoyo buffed her, and she had the biggest jump in history of the game, going from tier 2 to tier 0.5. Have you ever seen those videos when they like go out and like find a really old car and then they change the engine and changed everything and then it's like a very good car? It's one of those situations. It's just very, I don't know how to, I never in my mind saw Rina being this good. They also added something to her that right now is unique to only her. She is the only agent that can provide defense. It doesn't really matter right now because we don't have anyone other than Ben Bigger that benefits from defense, but we are going to get a class called the Armorer class, which is going to scale off of defense, and I'm pretty sure that Rina right now is best in a slot for that class. We all know that they're gonna add an actual defense support for that class down the line, but hey, look at Panyin, who when he came out he was the best for Rupture class. Then Lucia came out, took his spot. But if you want to use two Rupture teams, you will still have to use Pan, and Rina is probably gonna be the same thing. So Rina went from being one of the worst investment on the standard banner to basically being free Astra Yao. Next character is Grace Howard. Grace was just a very bad character. Very useless electric anomaly DPS. When the game came out, we didn't have any of this fancy vortex shit, bro. We had two anomaly characters that they would interact with each other and trigger disorders. When the game came out, that was anomaly. And in that environment, Grace was fucking useless, bro. First thing that really pisses me off about old Grace is that in her additional ability, she is locked to her own element, which is fucking stupid. That means if you want the additional ability active, you only run her with Rina, and that was ass because Rina used to be ass. So if you wanted to actually use Grace in a good team, like with, I don't know, Vivian and Yuzuha, her additional would be just dead. And even if her additional was active, because you were using her in a bad team with Rina or whatever, she wasn't doing much damage. She was very cooked. She was very bad. I used her for a long time before the buff, and I'll tell you, it was miserable, bro. It was bad. In 2.5, she did receive a buff. This buff made it so that her additional ability could work in other teams, and that's the biggest fix they did. They did give her Abulums on her ultimate, and they buffed her damage a little bit by giving her electric damage, but the biggest thing in my opinion was the fact that her additional ability wasn't locked to shock teams. At that point, this buff alone made her on par with DPS Yanagi, and I think for the time being that was pretty good because Yanagi was a limited character. Grace being on par with her was a pretty solid swag move from Hoyo. But this didn't fix Grace completely, because when you get down to it, Grace just does one thing. She just and only applies shock to the team. That's it. She only does shock. Nothing else. She just does shock. And she didn't have any synergy with any other character in the game. The only synergy, as I said, could be Rina, but again, both of them were bad characters, so when you put them together, they didn't give you very good results. Unless you were running Yuzuha. You're running two shitty characters with one good character. It's still not that good. But, as I said, Grace could only do one thing. She could only shock. If a character came out that rewarded a gameplay loop like that, Grace would see massive stunks. Then we fucking got Velina. Velina is a wind anomaly. Wind makes disorders go away, gives you vortex. Vortex means every anomaly trigger that you do big PP damage. Because of that, Grace, who has very high anomaly build up, can spam shotgun the enemy. This made her so fucking good, bro. Like, as a Grace enjoyer, this was the happiest day of my life. Like, I remember I got Valina and I thought I'm gonna use her with my Promia, but I just kept using her with Grace, bro. I didn't even touch Promia. I just kept using it with Grace because it was just so much fun. This part might be the Grace fanboy inside me speaking, but I feel like she's not only better than Yanagi, I feel like she's better than fucking Miyabi. I'm not. If you have Lina Ramiel, she's cooking, bro. Like, god damn. Let's move on to Soldier 11. I don't play Soldier 11, fuck Soldier 11. Hoyo did her dirty though. If they really wanted to make her actually good, I would remove that stupid fire additional ability. I would make her work with all stunners, because if you don't have Norma, I don't really see the point on using her. If you don't have Norma or Lighter, it's not that good. It's kind of cooked, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Let's forget about Soldier 11-year-old and talk about Lycaon, the GOAT. Lycaon did not have a rise or fall like all these other characters. He was always just fucking goated. He was just a good stunner. Ellen came out, Lycaon was good with her. Miyabi came out, Lycaon was good with her. Hyuga came out, Lycaon was good with her. Yidhari came out, Lycaon was good with her. Promia came out, Hyuga was good with her. Lycaon was good with what the fuck? Lycaon was good with every ice DPS. He did not need a buff at all. Like, if I could go back in time, I would just not buff him at all, honestly, because a lot more characters needed the buff. But hey, I know people will be mad if I say remove the buff. Don't remove the buff, but I'm gonna say it. He did not need the buff at all. They made her work with anomaly characters, and they did also make him do some kind of weird aftershock that is not an aftershock. He does attacks based on the attacks you do. Like, if you do one basic attack, he does one basic attack. It's not bad, it's good, but it didn't make him stupidly broken, or it didn't make him move up or down a tier or whatever in performance. He will stay good as long as ice as an element exists in the game. The anomaly unlock they made him work with anomaly, is really good. If you don't have other characters to pair with your anomaly characters, you can obviously use him as like a placeholder option till you get better anomaly options. But yeah, Lycaon's just good. Editing Jazzroy here, I have to mention two very important things. First off, I kind of downplayed the synergy Lycaon has with Yidhari. Buffed Lycaon with Yidhari is a fucking monster. Second off, the buff makes Lycaon be able to use Astral Voice. This is not necessary in every team, but it does make certain teams like the Anomaly team I mentioned a lot better. Let's get to the meat of this video. The reason I even made this video was because this character got buffed. Nekomata. Nekomata was absolute motherfucking trash. Every time you lost to Nekomata, it hurt more, bro. Like if I lost to Rina or Grace or Lycaon, it wouldn't hurt that much for some reason. When I lost to Nekomata, it was like an 8-legged Chinese man was trying to pound me from behind. You know, it was just very bad. It's kind of like you are getting a literal piece of shit as your birthday present. Her kit was a mess. She buffed herself when you got a quick assist or dodge counter, but this buff was very short and she couldn't get good use out of it in a stun unless you were really mindful of your quick assists. You're trying to do double chain, quick assist, dodge counter is impossible in a stun. It was just very bad. Her engine buffed attacks that were dealt to the back. Her engine buffed back attacks. If you attacked, her engine buffed back attacks. Her engine buffed back shots. If you attacked the back of the enemy, she would deal more damage. Problem is, in actual combat, it's fucking annoying and unrealistic to do this. The enemy keeps moving. You have to keep fucking dodging. It was only possible in a stun because the enemy was fucking stunned, bro. Her M1 kind of solved this problem by making all her attacks count as dash attacks. I meant to say back shots, very sorry. But her M1 was also something that only worked in stun. If you're following along, this literally means you need the character herself, you need her M1, and you need her engine. Finally have the back shot part of her kit complete, and even that's complete doesn't make it good. If you were using Nekomata before the buff, you either liked BDSM or you were a fan of her genuinely. But then Hoyo gave her this massive fucking buff. They gave her enhanced dash attacks, made her self buff last 40 seconds so you didn't have to worry about maintaining it in a stun, made her work with Woodpecker Electro so she actually has a good usable set now. All of this resulted in her fucking cooking now. She dunks on Yeshun Guang, the best DPS in the game. I mean, she's not the best DPS in the game. Anomalies are the best DPS in the game if you didn't know. But she does dunk on Yeshun Guang. If you say this, if you say that Nekomata dunks on Yeshun Guang, be ready for Yeshun Guang fans being, no bro, it doesn't matter. She's a standard banner character. You need 5 fucking mind skips. Well, I have 5 fucking mind skips, bitch. Shut the fuck up. As a certified Yeshun Guang hater, this was truly a fucking glorious moment in all of history. I was so happy seeing that Nekomata is dunking on Yeshun Guang. Fuck Yeshun Guang, bro. What the fuck is that? Anyway, if you're mad about Nekomata being better than Yeshun Guang, just pull more copies of Yeshun Guang, I guess, next time she comes. So she's better than Nekomata or whatever. But yeah, I was so happy she was better than Yeshun Guang. A standard banner characters being good is a good thing for both veterans and newbies. Newbies can actually get use out of them, considering the fact that you need 3 teams to clear endgame content in this game. You can realistically use them now, not as a meme, not because you like them, because they are actually good. This helps out newbies a ton because they don't have a lot of characters. When they try to pull limited characters, they get some of these and they can actually use them now, which is nice. And for veterans, it doesn't really change a lot because you probably have a lot of teams. But hey, I have better characters than Grace, but lo and behold, she is doing so good now that a score chaser like me is actually using her in shield defense unironically. And while I know people will say shit like, oh, this doesn't fucking matter because eventually HP inflation will make them fall off, I kind of disagree. If a character has a strong kit, the possibility of them aging better and getting uplifts with a new character also increases significantly. So in my book, the standard banner characters being very good is a positive all across the board. If you're mad that your favorite limited is getting dunked on by Nekomata or Grace, remember that ZZZ has done the impossible. They made Nekomata good, bro, and if Nekomata can be good, anyone can become good. Oh, by the way, I didn't talk about Koleda because I keep forgetting Koleda exists. Koleda is also getting buffed and she's also getting fucking massive. So holy shit, she's becoming so good. Every time I look at the changes they made, they just made her better, bro. She's just becoming better. I don't know what to tell you.